that, and there is 7 common traits that help companies achieve this massive outcome. From a business point of view, of course, digital product is a lot easier to scale to billion users and billions of revenue and so on. But at the end of the day, you also need to think, if you're a more traditional business, how can you be more a digital company? What kind of distribution are you having? The Chinese company today, like for example Xiaomi, you saw Wang Xiang before, the former chairman of Xiaomi, their strength is they basically see anything can be done. Anything can be OEM, meaning there is so much capacity from a factory point of view in China that any entrepreneur right now who wants to sell anything doesn't need to think about production anymore. He can find a factory who will do it, put a brand on top of it, and suddenly be entirely focused on digital marketing. And the last wave of Chinese entrepreneurs for the last 5-10 years, I'm also an investor in Shenzhen and Singapore and Hong Kong and so on, are mostly Chinese entrepreneurs who are targeting the world through digital distribution with digital products for most of them or items made in China. The second aspect, and that's a concept very close to the heart of people who are in the gaming industry, it's called a magical pair. If you are married and you might have feel this moment where your wife is about to say something and you kind of complete the sentence. You have this, I see a little bit of a smile here. You have this level of synchronicity from a mechanic and a pilot in Formula One, for example. Or you have this level of trust that you have between a pilot and a co-pilot. You have this symbiosis, like brand symbiotic experience that makes you super excited when, as an artist, you're working with an engineer and you kind of make magic. Like the artist alone cannot do it, the engineer alone cannot do it, but when these two guys come together, and the gaming industry, it's mostly artists and engineers, when these two guys come together, something magic happens. The third one is what I call the bro. The bro is actually you need to target like a big related market that you have access to and that you are willing to serve. I see too many entrepreneurs who are actually going for a market because it makes sense from a business point of view. I'm much more excited about entrepreneurs who go for a problem that they really care about because maybe it happened to them before or to their family member, and a market that they already have access. I believe the new gold today is not data, is not AI and so on, it's community. It's your capacity to connect with people at scale, have access to them and serve them. The fourth one, and it's something that pretty much the gaming industry has been invented in Korea and later on China, is called the freemium model or the free-to-play model. How you will actually create a service or products that will be free for 80 or 90% of your users. And then how will you be able to gradually upsell to a sub-part of the user base, and some of them will become what we call your whales, meaning you're like VVIP type of users from a spending capacity. We have a lot of framework actually that we developed specifically around that on atomic scaling. The fifth one, I mentioned it before, is your capacity to be in front of a stage and to actually connect with the audience. It can be at a conference, but it can also be on YouTube and social media and so on. Like if you look at the brands that really kind of explode in the last 10 years, think of them like you most likely, Apple probably being the most iconic of the last 20 or 30 years, you always have some kind of person that you can relate to. I don't believe a brand today will be able to really explode and serve billions of people or serve at scale without some kind of persona. And that's a big part. So even if you're not comfortable about it, well, just learn about it and go for it. The sixth one is what I call atomic out of the atomic scaling. The lessons actually from Ilka was actually I was an entrepreneur at the time. I was a gaming entrepreneur at the time, and I had a development team in Asia for my games, and I had business in California, like Silicon. I spent 10 years between California and basically Asia, and in between California and Asia, where you have Europe, Finland. So I had a stopover in Helsinki. It was in January. For people who have been to Helsinki in January, it's pretty dark and it's pretty cold. 8 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to meet for the first time Ilka. We share the same investors, Niklas Zenström, the founder of Skype. And basically, I'm going to meet another fellow entrepreneurs who at that time was not famous. He had a game that he launched 6 months ago, and that was pretty much it. I meet Ilka, and very quickly we're about the same age. I feel very comfortable about sharing what's happening in my life, and himself sharing what's happening in his life. Very quickly, I tell him, well, I'm basically all the time in USA talking to the Facebook and Apple of the world and fundraising with investors and so on, and with my team, like trying to kind of just hire people as many people as I need. I need another 70 people to hire like yesterday, and I feel like I'm failing everywhere. The reason why I'm failing everywhere is I basically spend all my time fundraising and hiring, and I don't have time to spend with the team. I don't have time to spend with my family, with my wife, with my kids, and so on. And Ilka, very patiently, as a good Finnish entrepreneur, look at me and say, why don't you stop hiring and just focus on your existing team? And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I need another 70 people, otherwise we cannot do this feature and that feature and that feature that my team. And then he paused again and he say, why don't you stop hiring and focus on your existing team? And then he started to explain to me the origin name of Supercell, this idea that small team can actually achieve amazing things. And the number one principle for Supercell is they actually cap the size of the team, what they call cell, what I call atomic. Once you've done that, and once you hire people and you explain to them, we're not going to be like, every time we have a problem, we're going to hire someone to fix it. No, we're going to be the best version of ourselves as an individual and as a team, and we're going to cap the team size to 7 people, for example. Then you push the scaling part. Then you a little bit like the founder of Angry Birds, Peter, who you just reach 100 million users, and you're like, okay, good start to the next 1 billion. And every time, kind of pushing the envelope. You can take a screenshot if you want here. So 7 common traits for 10% unicorn. And then, what happened to me after that is like, okay, I got it. But then how do we do that? And how do we do that? For me, that's really the most interesting part. It's about impact, but it's also about freedom. Pushing the boundaries of us as a human, what we can do with the limited number of units of time that we have in our life. So that's what I've been passionate about, and if you want to know more, that's my book, Atomic Scaling. We also have different training and masterclass available online and automated. But in a nutshell, at the end of the day, we basically look at how to build the best small team possible. What are the principles used by companies like Supercell and Valve and so on to give the best outcome with a limited number of people in your team? What kind of missions will you serve? What kind of playbook will you serve to actually achieve this impact? And being very, very data-driven. And then we look at how you can systematically deliver the best from revenue, reach, and retention. That's about it from now, and I also have a workshop in the afternoon, and looking forward to see you guys later. Thank you.